Hello, you have reached the office of Marie Ramsey Hurst, Canadian. For felony, press 1.
Please hold on while I try that extension.
Clerk's office?
Yes. I was calling to find out about a case. The case number is CF 2013-646.
Okay.
It says that there was a response issued on 12/21 on OSCN, and it says document unavailable. I was wondering if you could tell me what that response says.
We can't read documents over the phone.
Okay. What about, can you tell me the date that says order setting hearing date filed? Can you tell me the date on that hearing?
I can't see it because it's not scanned yet.
So it's not scanned in, and yet OSCN shows that the order was issued on 12/21. That's a week.
It has been docketed, but it hasn't been scanned on.
Right, so that's been a week. So you don't know the date. I don't know the date. Am I, as the defendant, am I allowed to know the court date?
Yeah.
How do I find that out?
Do you know who the judge is?
Nope. The documents say unavailable on OSC, and how long does it take for those documents to become available?
It'll be when they get scanned. We're short-handed in the file room, so we don't have a bunch of people who can be scanning. They're spread very thin.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what day it will be scanned.
But they will be online when they're scanned?
It will be. It won't be where you can see it, since this is a criminal case. You won't be able to click on the document and see it.
Okay. How do I go about getting this date, though? The date that the hearing is? Like, will they send me a piece of paper in the mail, or how do I find out?
If they did, that would be the DA's office that would send it. It wouldn't be from us.
So
you can try calling the DA's office to see if they've got a date written down.
All right. Can you go ahead and put me through to them?
I can transfer the operator, and you'll need to ask for them.
I'm sorry, the operator is currently unavailable. To try again, enter 0. Otherwise, please answer the following questions, and I'll make sure your message gets attention. I'll transfer you now.
You have reached the offices of Canadian County, Oklahoma.
I'll transfer you now.
You have reached the offices of Canadian County, Oklahoma. Please listen closely to the following options. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. If you wish to contact the Canadian County Sheriff's Office, please hang up and call 262-3434. For the office of the court clerk, please press 1. For the offices of the county clerk and land records, please press 2. For the county treasurer, press 3. For the assessor's office, please press 4. For the district attorney's office, please press 5.
Please hold on while I try that extension.
Hi, good morning, district attorney's office.
Yes, my name is Brian Brewer. I'm calling about case number CF 2013-646.
Just a second, please.
We apologize for the delay in answering your call. Please.
Patrick Blakely.
Yes, my name's Brian Brewer. I'm calling about case number 2013646.
Brian Brewer of Kansas?
Yes.
We've talked before. How you doing?
All right, yourself?
Oh, then it's another day in paradise. What can I do for you?
I was calling to find out what the response issued on 12/21 was, but also, since I got you on the phone, I want to ask you if you've had any contact with the state authorities of Kansas so far.
I haven't.
Has anybody tried to get a hold of you guys at all?
I can't account for what anybody else might have tried to do.
Okay, would there be any notes in my case as far as the Kansas authorities sending my waiver of extradition or contacting you guys as far as being able to pick me up?
Hey, hang on just a second. We heard anything from Kansas on... No, we received nothing concerning your extradition.
Okay, that's one of the... Okay, but the other thing I was calling about was the response that you guys filed. Is there any way for me to find out what that response says, or the court date that it says on OSCN? It says the 21st. There was a date, a hearing date filed.
Yeah, I mailed it to you.
Oh, okay. So it is in the mail.
Well, I assume so. I used the address that you used on. So I don't think there was an address on your motion, but in some of the pleading I had, there was an address, and that's the one I used.
Okay, the Topeka one?
Yeah, I believe it was in Topeka.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this stuff here in Kansas, but
what stuff have you got in Kansas?
Well, they did I signed the waiver of extradition back in April.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma never came and picked me up. They let me out.
Okay.
They picked me back up again in May. They let me out the next day. I was picked up again in Jackson County, Kansas, and I informed that judge as to what was going on, and they still kept me in jail. They released me a week later, but they released me on the Oklahoma bonds and tried to tell me that I had a bond out of Oklahoma, and I told them that it's an illegal bond because technically they can only bond me out on a Kansas case.
Yeah.
Anyways, the people that I'm dealing with in Jackson County, I've been trying to go about this from a procedural standpoint, from the little that I've learned in terms of reading what's gone wrong, and last time I had a court date, they actually stopped me at the county line and put me in jail in order to facilitate me not being at that court date.
Okay.
Now they're telling me that I have to appear in Oklahoma, but I am contending right now that I don't have to do anything without a governor's warrant.
Okay. Well, you're not in custody, so you can't get a governor's warrant.
See, that's what I'm arguing. Technically, I'm still in custody because I'm being held on bond on the Kansas cases.
Oh, you're out on bond. Okay.
Yes, they can't technically let these cases go because they're the state of Oklahoma's warrants. So they have to let me out on bond pursuant to the Criminal Extradition Act, the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act, which says that when you guys don't come pick me up, I'm granted bond until a governor's warrant is issued.
Yeah.
So,
well, Brian, let me ask you this. What are you trying to accomplish overall?
Well, right now I'm trying to figure out where the mix-up was, because right now I have Kansas telling
me...
No,
I'm not talking about the mix-up. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish with the pleadings that you filed in Kansas? Gee, I got a thing. You filed an appeal to the Kansas Supreme Court. And what are you trying to accomplish?
I want to figure out.
What's your goal?
My goal is to figure out where the miscommunication was, why there was a miscommunication, and further why there isn't somebody in the middle in order to facilitate these types of cases better.
Okay, I guess maybe I'm not making myself clear. Is it your intention to ever come back to Oklahoma to take care of the problem with your probation?
Oh yes, actually, I fully intend to. I do intend to.
Well, why don't you just come on down and do it? It'll take about a day.
Well, because that's what I
You'll
hear,
spend.
but I've also been mixed up in this never-ending cycle of either negligence or corruption. I don't know what it is, where everybody tells me that I'm wrong and that I have no constitutional rights almost, and that it's okay for these states to continuously violate my constitutional
Well,
rights.
I mean, I can't account. I can't account for your perceptions, and I won't take any responsibility for them. But I can tell you that if you take care of the basic issue, which is the problem with your probation, and like I said, you'll spend more time driving than you'll spend in the courthouse. All that other stuff vanishes.
Well,
None of it all goes away.
you see, and that's another problem that I have too, is that
No, that's a solution, man. That's not a problem.
you see, and that's why I tell my sister it's a big problem for me, because then there's other people in my boat, because there are these people out there who are sitting there in county jails and who they talk to people, and these people are very rude to them and tell them that they are allowed to do these kind of things, where once you open a law book, you open one of these USCA books, and you can see very right off the bat that some of the stuff that is happening is not kosher. And that's where
Okay.
and that's where I'm at. I want this to be kosher. Like, I want Kansas to figure out where the problem is. I want Oklahoma to figure out where the problem is. I want to know where the miscommunication came in, because from what I've seen, there's 3 different acts that try to eliminate this type of situation from happening: the Uniform Criminal Extradition Act, the Uniform Act on Detainers, and the Uniform Mandatory Disposition of Detainers.
Yeah.
So therefore, there are three laws that technically I fell through 3 laws as loopholes somewhere.
But Brian, it's not necessary for you to argue law to me. I'm the guy that went to law school, not you. But what I'm saying is, if it's your intention to be a crusader or a martyr, then you're going about it the right way. No problem. Fight the good fight. I'm from the 60s, radical man, go right at it. But if what you want is to take care of the problem you've got, I can do that with you in the courthouse, and it'll take us about, 90 minutes. I mean, this has all been a molehill turned into a mountain by Brian Brewer, not by Kansas, not by Oklahoma, not by Patrick Blakely, but by Brian Brewer. Just come down and take care of it. Geez, I mean, this is insane.
I know that I've turned it into a mountain, but you have to realize that this has been my mountain for 8 years.
Okay.
I mean,
and you're right. It's been your mountain for 8 years. And I don't know. Are you familiar with the story of Don Quixote and tilting at windmills? He thinks they're dragons.
Yeah.
This is a windmill. This isn't a dragon, Brian. You don't have to kill it.
All right.
Like I said, 90 minutes if we go real slow, and it just all gets taken care of and goes away. Warrants get recalled. You come off NCIC. Nobody wants you in Kansas. I mean, this is, like I said, this is all a Brian Brewer production.
What's the court date on that you guys?
I don't know. Let me look and see. Hang on a second. It's been a few days since I've done this. But you filed a motion to dismiss, and I filed a response, and I set it for a hearing so you could come down and you can argue your motion.
Right, and I mean.
Let's see, because that's the way we do it. And I'm going to look at this up. Hang on. Are you Brian Matthew?
Yes.
What's your case number, Brian?
CF 2013-646.
Okay. Your date of birth, March of 1984?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let me get the computer to open up here. You are set for... Well, it's not invented. Hang on.
Technology, every time you need it to work, it's like, eh.
That's about the size of it, man. Let me try it a different way. Okay, it is set for February 15th at 1:30.
February 15th at 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30 in the afternoon in front of Jack McCurdy.
All
That's
right.
good. And I mailed it to 432 Northeast Chandler Street, Topeka.
That is my address. It probably just hasn't gotten here yet with the holidays.
Okay, 66616.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate the talk, Patrick Blakely, and I will be seeing you soon.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.